Phoenix Black Chamber of Commerce, and she currently sits on the board of the Phoenix Women's Commission, an organization dedicated to providing advocacy, leadership, and support for women of all ages to enhance their quality of life here in Phoenix. Chanel's goal is to bridge gaps in our community by brokering relationships. Her firm, Co Consulting, is her medium with which she strives to do this. Regardless of where she is, Chanel is a great leader whose commitment remains in our community. She is truly a voice for the voiceless. Our mayor, Greg Stanton, is a local who was raised in West Phoenix by a family who was committed to giving back to their community. His father, Fred, rode the city bus every day on his job as a shoe salesman. His mother gave her life to you guys. She was a devoted educator who did great things in her classroom. Mayor Stanton and his wife, Nicole, have two lovely children, Trevor and Violet. And they constantly instill in their children the importance of giving back to others. So in this spirit, they founded the Christian Needs Network, a group of multi-faith volunteers who collect clothes, food, and diapers for members of the Phoenix community who are in need. Mayor Stanton has a great vision for the city of Phoenix. He is working to create a city with the strongest schools and the safest communities. Mayor Stanton is working to create a vibrant arts community and an environment that supports local business, diverse industries, and high-wage jobs. As mayor, he is working to build Phoenix into a city that is great for each and every one of its residents. So to begin, like I stated earlier, we will begin by student questions. Mayor Stanton and Chanel will be giving their expert knowledge on these topics, and then we will get into our Q&A session. So the first question that was submitted by a student in my advisory class, they asked, how has your undergraduate and postgraduate education helped you in your career? And this one is specifically for Mayor Stanton.
All right. Should I stand up?
Why not?
All right. I'm honored to be here at Calvac again. Someone reminded me that this is my third trip here since I've been mayor, about 16 months, and I love coming to this school. What you're doing here is really, you need to know that your reputation of excellence is known citywide. People know that great things are happening here at Calvac, and the academic model and the really supportive community that we created with students, parents, faculty, professional decision, and that was to come back to Phoenix, my hometown, to get involved in the field. So, the question is really your academic basis for it. I mean, it was everything. I mean, number one, getting a college degree, and then ultimately for me, a law degree gives you some credibility. For you're just trying to get your start in your professional career, get your start in the community. Having that degree gives you a lot of credibility when people apply for various jobs and that sort of thing. But also, it's just, hey, you really get to go to college once a month. Take advantage of it. Learn, study the broad variety of subjects that you want to learn and study. How about you? In my case, I love politics and history. I mean, unique opportunity to spend 4 years immersed in learning. So for me, it was just a wonderful. If I get a chance, I'd go back to college in an instant. It's the best 4 years, 4 or 5 years, depending on how it goes, but whatever. But the best years of your life. It was a lot of fun. And the great thing, I'll make this point now, I'll also probably make it as well. One of the great things about Phoenix, in particular, and I hope all of you decide to, even if you go away from college, if you come back to Phoenix for a lot of your career, is that this is a wide open town. I mean, there is nothing holding you back from achieving what you want to achieve. I mean, as you mentioned in the beginning, I grew up in a working class family. I mean, my dad sold shoes at JCPenney. After I graduated law school, I didn't know anybody coming from Phoenix. Literally, I had my high school basketball buddies. That was about it. So we played basketball in the park, but they couldn't come in politically or professionally. And this is a town where there's not much of an old boy network. And so the only thing holding you back is, your own willingness to work hard. You got to study, buckle down and study, but your own willingness to work hard and get to know people, make connections. You should start that now. I mean, volunteer for organizations that you believe in. Volunteer. Michelle's case, I mean, she's a great now volunteer with community organizations. She works on political campaigns. That's exactly what I did too. I got to know a lot of people working on political campaigns. People that ended up helping me when I was trying to achieve my own goals. And you know what? You end up there. Why not? Hey, I mean, that's the kind of town this is. So I know there's more questions that Michelle has answered as well. Absolutely.
So I know there's some people that said they can't hear in the back, so what we're going to try to do is
Test.
okay. And our next question is specifically from Ms. Poe. The question reads, what is the most important skill and piece of knowledge that you have learned in your career of community development?
Or community outreach, I would say. Hi, Camelback High. It's great to see you guys again. Thank you for all the other additional students that decided to join us. The most important thing that I learned throughout my career in community outreach is the importance of relationships. Mayor Stanton just touched on volunteerism. Well, because I helped Mayor Stanton, I worked on his campaign, he actually handpicked me to be on the Phoenix Women's Commission because he seen the commitment that I had to the community, and he thought that I would be really great for the job to help follow through and get that done. And that's how I showed my credibility. Relationships are essential. You want to have relationships with your teachers, right? Because a lot of you are going to be getting ready to go to school. I'm not sure if jobs ask for referrals, but that's another way to give you a competitive edge for a job. Perhaps you may have a favorite teacher or someone that you work well with, and you can ask them, hey, would you mind writing me a letter of recommendation for all of you juniors and seniors? That's going to be coming up for you really soon. You want to make sure that you are getting your paperwork together and make sure that you have individuals who have credibility who can actually speak to whatever it is that you plan to do. The important thing about relationships is that be patient with people. Accept people for who they are. I know some people who are like, oh my gosh, I wish they could change, or I wish they could listen to me and be the way that I want them to be. But I would just really say accept them for who they are, and always put your best foot forward, and always make sure that you communicate. Communication is essential. So let's say that you called someone, you left them a voicemail, and you're like, oh, well, you didn't call me back. I just can't believe this person. I am just so upset with you. Don't take it personal. Sometimes things come up, sometimes people have busy lives, but the point is how bad do you want it? How bad do you want that connection? the key is to make sure that you turn everything into a positive way of thinking. The way that your mindset is you want it to move forward. You want to be progressive. You want to think positive, because if you think positive, positive things will occur to you. I would say, I would actually echo Mayor Stan's sentiments again as far as volunteering. That's a good way to help build relationships in the community. So if you start volunteering when you're 15, you may want to go ahead and apply for the job when you're 16. And you may be more likely to hold that position because you did put in something called due diligence. Write that one down, due diligence. Due diligence is essential because it's a way of learning, it's a way of gaining experience, and it's a way of showing people that, you know what, this person is really committed. You know what, I'll probably choose this person over that person because they showed me that they're committed. And I want to just really stress the fact, too, is to establish those types of relationships with your teachers, with your counselors. Sometimes I know that it can say, oh my gosh, they get on my nerves, it seems like they're getting on me. No, your teachers are here because they're pushing for you. They are in your corner. They are working effortlessly to provide you with the resources that you need to be successful in life. So again, from my expertise and from my knowledge and my skill set, I would just say have those relations. Let me tell you a really quick story. I got an email on Monday, right? I got an email from this arts organization, and they said, you know what, Shell, it's a big off-Broadway stage play that's coming to town, and I got 50 tickets for you. I was like, 50 tickets? Oh, okay. So let me go ahead and reach out to individuals in my network and offer them those tickets so that they can, too, come and enjoy the show with me. How often does that happen? Someone will call you and give you tickets to an off-Broadway show that's only in town for 2 days and let you pass that out to your network. It's because of our relationship. So just understand that it's give and take, and make sure you keep that positive mindset to ensure that you'll have positive relationships. Thank you.
I think it's short stab this one too. Most importantly, everything Chanel said is 100% right. The one I want to just echo, if you will, is the number one thing I have learned, the number one skill you gotta have, no matter if you pursue a career in elected office, business, you want to be a nonprofit leader, medicine, whatever you choose to do, the number one thing that's going to make you a leader is communication. And that means you've got to learn to write well. That just doesn't mean get up and speak in front of a group, well, you got to do that too. You've got to learn to be able to write in a way that effectively communicates your position, your feeling, the point you're trying to get across. And two, you've got to be able to talk to people, both one-on-one communication as well as get in front of a group and be confident in what you're saying. I'm seeing it across the board. Those people that consistently are good at communication are the ones that are going to be the top of their fields, whatever that field may be. You probably hear that from your teachers all the time, but I'm telling you, in my experience, that is 100% true. Those are the people that rise to the top, the people with the strongest communication skills.
Our next question is both for Mayor Stanton and Ms. Poe. What factors should students consider when choosing a career?
Do what you love. Look, if you like making crafts, if you're an artist, if you like, drawing, if you like, holding yard sales, do what you love. But you know what that takes? That takes you some time, some alone time. Spend some alone time. I'm not sure if you have a journal or you probably wrote a story or written a piece, but take time to see what really makes you happy. I say this to individuals. I say, if you could make $75,000 a year, what would you do? Understand, whatever it is that you do, if you want to, some people say, you know what, I want to be a janitor. If you want to be a janitor at the government, be a janitor at City Hall, be a janitor at the Cardinal Stadium, and then you can take those skills that you acquired and you learn to possibly maybe open up your own janitorial service. So therefore you can bid on contracts from the city. So therefore you can really show that you have the management skills and be able to provide employment for individuals in your community. I think it is so essential to volunteer. Volunteer will take you so far. Volunteer has took me from being a volunteer at an organization to actually land in a position, to getting a job. treat the volunteer work like it's your job. When I was 13, when I was 12, I was 12 years old. I actually lived in Phoenix for a couple of years, for a few years. And I went on over to John C. Lincoln, and I was a candy striper. Okay? Building relationships with people at the hospital, learning something new, learning different skills. Don't be afraid. You have to understand, you have to be proactive, right? Because it's like a competition out there. And what are you going to do to make yourself set apart? What do you want to do to strive for excellence? There are all types of food banks, there are homeless shelters. I actually went to go visit a shelter in Mesa the other day. I met them at the UMOM ribbon cutting, and I went out to Mesa, and I went to go see this transitional shelter, this living facility, and I was just so amazed at, you know, the things that they did for the families and the resources they provided and the success stories, and I was like, you know what, I live in Phoenix, but I am going to come out here and volunteer. I'm going to make a commitment to come out here because I want to support you guys and whatever it is that you're doing to do amazing things. I actually got a phone call on Tuesday, and someone asked would I help them volunteer for International Jazz Day. That's going on this coming up Tuesday. We're doing a big jazz fest that's going to be down in Cityscape. If I didn't have those relationships with those individuals, or they didn't think I wasn't credible, meaning that I'm going to be on time, meaning that I'm going to take the job serious and put my best foot forward in everything you do, then that's another good way to help build some of that credibility, gain some of that experience, and it possibly lead to a career. You never know who's watching you. You never know who's in the room taking a look at your skills. So I would just tell you to always, again, and I'm going to continuously reiterate this, keep a positive attitude. It's so easy to get distracted or let someone else upset you. You are in control of your life. You are in control of yourself. So don't let someone else's actions make you react. Again, and I will also want to make sure that I state that you should volunteer. You can volunteer at school. You can get a letter recommendation if you go ahead and just put in a few hours. So I would definitely say, find what it is in your heart. Find what it is that you love. Start gaining some experience. Start volunteering. And it can help you maybe expose yourself to some new things and new qualities and new skills that you thought that you may never have. Thank you.
So the question is, factors to consider when choosing a career. That's an interesting question because number one, you're still in high school. So don't think too much about career, just make sure you're taking the right steps so that you can maximize your options in the future, which means building those relationships, building your resume, building your Rolodex, building communication skills, keeping your grades up so you have maximum options for college. So that would be my advice to you now, not worry too much about specific careers. The only thing I guess I would politely suggest, and I say that only because I'm a big proponent of a liberal arts education, meaning a broad-based education, is, you know, don't specialize too early. The reality is that a young person beginning his or her career today is probably going to have, and this is normal, this is not abnormal, you know, 6 or 7 jobs throughout his or her career. It's a different environment than when our parents or your grandparents were growing up, where you got a job and you stayed with that company probably for your entire career. It's just a new reality, and so the skills, the individual skill set to have a particular job, if you focus too early, may not suit you well for another one. That's why you want a broad base of skills as possible. So my suggestion is, you know, take classes that are going to give you that broad base education. When you get to college, take classes across the board in English and science and political science and history. That'll allow you, if you decide you want to go into nursing, then you can do that for nursing school. If you decide you want to go to medical school, you can do that. In my case, law school. Don't take too many just casual classes. You know, take classes that will build for someone for the future. But I would just politely suggest take as broad a base as you can that will maximize your options to the future. Except for one. I would say this. If I had to do it over again, I would have taken got a little more basic education in finance. That is something that's going to suit you well. You don't have to major in finance, but just understanding the world of finance is going to suit you throughout your life. And then I would also say study economics. You don't have to be major or minor in economics, but just get a basic understanding of the world of economics. Because that would be something that will suit you help you throughout the rest of your life, no matter what career you end up choosing. If I had to do it over again, I probably would have taken a few more classes in those areas. I've learned that through experience. What I wish I had done before.
All right. Our next question is a more broad question, looking at students in the Phoenix Union High School District. Why is it important for students specifically in the Phoenix Union High School District to go on to get an education beyond graduating from high school? Whether it be trade schools, whether it be any kind of training that will allow them to get skill, or undergraduate. Why is that important for our community to do that?
I'll jump in first on this one. Broadly, it's not just for Phoenix Union, but for everyone. But the reality is that we are in a hyper-competitive economy. Our local economy, our national economy is going to be more and more in competition with other parts of the world. That is just the reality that past generations didn't face. And so having an advanced education in any of the higher wage type careers, higher education is going to be absolutely necessary. It doesn't have to be a four-year degree. You did mention trade schools, etc., but you've got to have some advanced learning in general. But that particular to the school district, I'll mention something about this school district. Obviously, this school district makes up the core of Phoenix. I mean, the heart of Phoenix, downtown, west side, south side, here in the near east side. And there are other high school districts that make up the city. But this is the big one. Phoenix Union is the big one. Phoenix Union doesn't do well. We don't get the kids in this room and throughout the high schools in Phoenix Union moving on, graduating high school, moving on to college. We as a city are in trouble. I mean, the future of Phoenix Union, the future of the city of Phoenix are one in the same. And I know that the vast majority of students in Phoenix Union are Latino. It's a wonderfully diverse district, which is great, but the majority are Latino. And the reality is that's our future. In the city of Phoenix, we are probably a majority Latino city now. The census data doesn't reflect that. It will next time around for sure, because there may be a little bit of an undercount. But the reality is the success of the Latino community generally and the success of Phoenix is the same thing. And we can only be successful if we get our Latino youth in particular graduating high school and moving on to college and choosing their careers here in Phoenix. It's a huge economic advantage for us having that diverse population if we can fully take advantage of it. I know Phoenix Union is uniquely blessed to have such a diverse student body, which, by the way, I mean, no matter what you're going to be a leader in, no matter what you're going to be a leader in politics, business, or whatever, having that experience in a diverse environment, being comfortable in a diverse environment, being to take a leadership role in a diverse environment, it will be a huge advantage for you over kids that have not come up in a school district where you have this incredible diversity. And then finally, one of the things I've tried to do as a mayor, one of the things that I think is going to be a huge basis of our economy moving forward is business relationships from companies south of the border in Mexico, Central America, Latin America. Mexico is a huge, fast-growing economy. They're actually growing faster than we are in the United States. They're doing better economically right now than we are. And a huge growing middle class, and soon Mexico will be one of the top 6 or 7 economies in the entire world, including passing up Brazil. Brazil for a long time is sort of the model of the Latin American world of a strong economy. Mexico is about to pass up Brazil. And so a lot of the students in this district maybe have family back in Mexico, have relatives, friends, relationships there. I know that many of the students, I'm guessing in this room and throughout this district, are bilingual. That's a huge, huge advantage that this district has. And so if the young people in this room and throughout the district can get on, go on to college, and open up businesses, be entrepreneurs and open up businesses that involve those relationships and understanding and appreciating those cultural differences. I mean, that's going to be a massive economic boom to this community. So, and that is not unique, but it's probably a particular emphasis to this district because of the population. So if we can take advantage of it, that's going to bode well for our future as a city.
So I'm not sure that, like, if you guys, how do you feel about, your school district and like where you are, and just know that you are represented every day. You have individuals who may look to this district and think, oh, well, you know what, they're just, it's all so diverse, it's just a bunch of minorities over there. Prove them wrong. And you know how you prove them wrong? By getting 3.5 or better. You prove them wrong by getting A's on your papers. You prove them wrong by getting together and studying with one another. You prove them wrong by working with your teachers, so therefore that if you don't understand something that's going on, you can go ahead and get that help and that assistance that you need to be the best. You do not have to be down and out. You don't have to be another statistic. You don't have to be probably what you may have a negative influence in your family, or you may have people that live close by you that are not doing some of the things that you admire or aspire for. The goal is to find those mentors. It's essential to have a mentor, to have someone that you look up to, someone that you admire, something that models something that looks like success for you. You guys can take this city by storm. Because typically they may not put out the best numbers or say you guys are scoring highest. You can prove them wrong. I love how Mayor Stanton touched on being bilingual. I see jobs that pass my email every other day looking for someone in bilingual. It is so essential to have those people skills, to have those communication skills, because that's going to help you be able to work with a wide variety of people. You're not going to feel shy or shocked to come. What's your name? Martine. I'm not going to be shy to be around Martine because I went to high school with Martine. Me and Martine, we did a field trip together. We probably did a study group together. This is someone who I met growing up in my life. And this is going to help prepare you to be the best that you can be. The thing is that sometimes we got to think outside of the box. Everybody kind of learns differently. So find what it is that you're great at and what your passion is, and stick with that and take it to the top. The thing is that I want you to learn STEAM, okay? Science, technology, engineering, arts, and mathematics. There are so many jobs here. Intel's building that brand new plant over there in Chandler. You have, many business opportunities that are coming here that are looking for that skill set, because guess what they're doing? They'll hire individuals who may move here from another country specifically to do that job, when we can be the ones who can have that career, who have the education over here. And once you get your education from Phoenix Union, make sure that you come back. Share what you've learned. Again, it's so important to have people in front of you that you admire who are doing great things, because it can help motivate you. I can have someone who's an engineer sitting right in front of me, and they're just, sharing all this great knowledge with me and telling me, making sure you get, A's in math and, be creative and build a model airplane. That's engineering. You can be working on a Boeing 747 jet. But the goal is to make sure that you guys, be there for one another. If you see a student struggling in class and you know that you're, doing, better and you're excelling in that, share some of that knowledge, because we all need each other. But we also want to make sure that we're striving for excellence. It's something that I just recently came up with. It was like an epiphany that came to me, and it was just called great. How often do you hear the word great? You want to be great at everything you do. I broke the G down. I put the G for great stands for goals. You gotta make goals. Make goals that are obtainable. Make goals that you can go ahead and put a sticky note over your bed or in the bathroom that you get to see every day that says, you know what? I'm going to strive to be the best today. I'm not going to try to get an attitude. I'm not going to be negative. You know what? I'm going to be positive, and I'm going to think that I am going to pass, and it's exactly what you're going to do with that positive mindset. R, you got to be resilient. Sometimes you may get the grade on one of your exams that you didn't want or that you didn't expect. You're like, man, I studied so hard. But you got to be resilient to make sure you bring it up by the next test. E, excellence. I heard Mr. Moore say that earlier. Do everything in excellence. Whatever you do it in excellence. Be proud of who you are. Take pride in your school district. Take pride in your community. Take pride in wanting to be the best. You can do it. Believe in yourselves. Encourage one another. Again, we all need one another. And A, be accountable. Oh, where's your homework? Oh, geez, I had football practice last night and I left it at home. Or, oh man, I left it sitting on the table. Hold yourself accountable. Don't make excuses. This is what's going to help set you apart. This is what's going to help you be a responsible adult. So make sure you hold yourself accountable. And tenacity. You gotta be tenacious. It means you just gotta go for it. You just gotta take risks. So when you get a junior and you're getting 11th grade, as soon as you can take that ACT, take it. Take it as many times as you can. Because the higher scores you get on that, the better it is for you to get into a college of your choice. Imagine that. Whatever college you want to go to. And of course, we hope it's here locally, whether you're going to ASU, U of A, or Maricopa Community Colleges, there are options for you to succeed. So really just push yourself for excellence and be great in life.
Guys, so we have about roughly 6 minutes left until the bell rings. I quickly want to go into student questions. We'll have time for maybe 1 or 2 quick answers to questions. And then if you have lunch, you go to lunch or to your classes. All right, so I'm going to open it up to the students. Guys, raise your hand if you have any questions, and we'll go ahead and answer them. Evan, go ahead.
One of my questions is for the mayor. What was one of your major ups and downs, and what helped you bring it back up and succeed?
Okay.
First off, I like your tie, it's good. It's stylish, what are you running for? I like it. So it's an interesting question, and here's why. You know, in the business that I am in, it's a very public business. You know, the things you're doing are on the front page of the paper sometimes, and you know, you got a lot of people that are fans, and you get a lot of haters. You know, and that's the nature of politics. That's the nature of any leadership position you're going to be in. You got to come to terms with it. And one of the things I try to do, not always successfully, try to do is, you know, don't feel too good about yourself just because someone's saying nice things about you in the newspaper, and don't feel too down about it either. You gotta be confident in your decisions and lead the city in the right direction. And then throughout time, there are going to be, you know, there are definitely going to be times when you're up and times when you are down. But I guess the best response I give you is. Don't let your highs be too high because you're not that good, and don't let your lows be low because you're not that bad. You know, just try to be as steady as possible. Have confidence that you're making the right decisions. Have confidence you're heading in the right direction, and don't let them get to you. But the one thing at least in my experience, you know, you got to work hard no matter what you do. If you're going to be successful, you got to work really hard. And so, you know, if somebody's down or thinks I'm not doing the right thing. At least for me, it motivates me to even work even harder to the goals that I have set. So that's generally how I try to respond to it. Any rumors you're hearing about the city? Doesn't have to do with all we talked about. Any questions? This is your time.
It's a model that I live by, and you guys should write this one down. No risk, no reward. Gotta take risks. Don't be afraid to stand up and say whatever it is you want. This is a great opportunity. How often are you going to have the mayor up at Camelback sitting here talking to you, sharing his knowledge and expertise, and open up a door wide open so therefore that he can provide you with the resources that you need to become a better student. Don't be afraid. It takes somebody to be bold, and that's leadership. So just look inside yourself and be the leader that you need to be.
Any other questions? One more. Okay, so the question was, did my education help me become the mayor? Yes, and here's what I mean by that. So I was lucky to get a good education, and I was lucky to, you know, I had to take out student loans to do it, by the way. That's something everybody here needs to realize that, at least for me, you know, I wanted to get the best education I could, and I was lucky enough to be in a position, I didn't have the financial resources to do it, so I had to get a lot of scholarships, Pell Grants, but also I took out some student loans. In fact, I'm still paying some of my student debt to this day. And you know what? That's the best check I write every month, because it's an investment in yourself, and it pays off long term. So I would say the education opened doors, but the education by itself isn't enough. You still got to work hard, make those relationships, prove yourself to be reliable and resilient, and also be a strong communicator. I mean, there's a lot of people with fancy degrees out there that haven't achieved what they're hoping to achieve in life. So you gotta have that as a baseline, but we still go well beyond it. All right, who's going to college next year? How many seniors do we have? Who's going on to college? Okay, I'm going to tell you the secret about doing well academically in college. I don't know if anyone's going to disagree with me or not. What the heck? I'm going to tell you something. At least for me, the secret is you got to study on Thursday nights and Sunday nights. You can have fun on Friday and Saturday nights, but don't get pulled in because there's going to be some peer pressure when you get to, and you'll remember when you get to college, you're going to remember this conversation. When you get there, there's going to be pressure to turn Thursday night into a fun night and not a study night. And there's going to be pressure to turn Sunday night into the last night of the weekend to be a party night. If you can be disciplined and have your fun on Friday and Saturday nights, let's keep Thursday and Sunday nights in addition to the rest of the week as study nights. Keep up there, you're going to do well in school. You'll put you a huge advantage to the other students who are going to get drawn into turning Thursday nights into a weekend night and Sunday night into a weekend night. Mark that down. Put it in your pocket. You'll say, what the heck is he talking about now? I promise you when you get to college, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. I will say, if you're even thinking about it, debating it, and I know there's a lot of, some people won't be able to go full time, you have to work and all that. It's a totally understandable thing, but get going in that direction. I mean, it is the best thing. I mean, you get the teachers tell you that all the time, the administrators tell you all the time. I can tell you from my experience, the opportunity to go to college is the best thing you can do for your life and career. And it really is, for me, it was transformative. It was such a confidence builder that I would be able to achieve some of the things that I wanted to achieve. Coming from a working class background, without a lot of role models that I could look to. Fortunately, my parents pushed me in that direction. And we didn't have a lot of money, but they pushed education. And they've got 4 kids, and I'm mayor. My brother's a superintendent in Humboldt District. My sister's a teacher. I got another sister who got a college degree and is working at Channel 15 in the community relations department. And they're all here in Phoenix and doing great things, and it's all because we're lucky to have a support system that encouraged getting a college degree. It's critically important. I guess that's the end, right? Chanel, last word? Chanel brought up some summer jobs. If you're looking for a summer job, go to phoenix.gov, the website. There will be some professional opportunities there, so check it out. All right.
Have a great day. Strive to be the best. Know that you're amazing and strive for excellence. Be great.
Good job. Filming, my dear.